What ho everybody, Ian here, and today we are going to talk about designing my Gay Joe Guild virtual exhibition layout. As with any layout project, it's important to know exactly what you want from it. For example, my old US outline layout's meant to create a very much a you are there by the line side sort of feel, and if you can see from some of the photographs, I think it's been pretty effective in that, and it's not even finished yet, so I'm getting even more ideas churning in my head as it reaches completion. I'm even thinking about maybe sound in there somewhere, but that's another story for another day. The Gay Joe Guild layout is going to be more conventional, just a regular sort of layout. I want to be able to shunt wagons, run passenger trains, just do the regular things that a normal model railway exhibition layout does, just in as small a space as possible for O-scale. Now, the first thing to decide is what I'm after. We know it's going to be small, and we know it's going to be probably 4 square feet in a scenic area, but I'm not going to lose too much sleep if it goes over the 4 square feet scenic area. I mean, O scale is big, and I've got things like point work to consider, so perhaps it will stay under 4 feet, perhaps it'll go over 4 feet. Hopefully it won't go over by much, but we'll see what happens as I come up with the design, develop the design, fine-tune it, do mock-ups, and we'll see how far we get along the line, how near we get to the 4 square foot limit. So as I said in the previous video, it's going to be the East Lincolnshire Light Railway. I've got lots of stations and locations to choose from in my original concept, but right now I haven't decided what it's going to be. So the design process will help me work out what I'm going to do, and we'll go from there. It should be quite an interesting process. I'll walk you through it because it's my own personal process. It's the process I've used for a long time. Maybe you'll get some ideas from it yourself. So let's take a look at what we're going to do.
The first thing I do is I make up what I call inspiration sheets. It's my research. These are the pictures of the things I like, things that might be useful in the development of the concept, that sort of thing. Inspiration sheets are great for keeping everything together. I mean, you could, if you wanted, bookmark internet pages and keep it all on your computer, but you might end up with loads and loads and loads of web links. It's much, much easier to cut and paste some screenshots into a Word doc or something similar. This first inspiration sheet has some track plans and ideas on it. There's Rodney Hall's Llanastar, which is a very great idea for a micro layout with basically half a passenger loop in the station featured as the part of the layout. There's also like Neil Rushby's Shell Island there, which is another great idea for a small layout. Then Mark Smith's O-scale layout is something that's always fascinated me there with his movable scenic sector plate. I think that's a great idea of combining your hidden sidings with your sceneries. That's a good idea, and so I might just try and incorporate something like that into this layout. This inspiration sheet has got a couple of pictures of layouts from forthcoming issues of the Micro Model Railway Dispatch that I kind of find interesting and might give up some ideas for me. There's also the Wingham Canterbury Road track plan and a photograph of the station building there. Those are really important. They inspired the whole East Lincolnshire Light Railway idea off to start with all those years ago. So I keep those pictures handy, and hopefully we'll be able to do something with those as well. If you don't know it, this is Lincolnshire. Lincolnshire is flat. Not just flat, it's flat in that very special way that I think only true Lincolnshire yellowbellies can appreciate. There are parts of the county where the flatness is as spectacular as the Grand Canyon. Now this is making me homesick, but I just wanted to show anybody who doesn't know what Lincolnshire looks like, what the scenery needs to be like on the layout. Chapels, brick-built Wesleyan chapels. If there's one thing that is absolutely typical of the Lincolnshire landscape, it's the brick-built chapel. If there's only going to be one non-railway building on the layout, it's going to be a chapel like this. So if there's room for a building, it's going to be a brick-built chapel because they are so typical of the Lincolnshire area. A few more track planning ideas. The black and white layout plan there is from an article in the December 1984 railway modeller called Ludus 1. I like the island platform idea, and that's something I might work with. The other plans there, the photographs, two of those are mine. It's like Conisholme and Covenham, and I've experienced all these track plans, and I know that they all provide me with a lot of interesting operation and would keep me interested for quite some length of time. Saltfleet Haven is a place that I've wanted to model on the East Lincolnshire Light Railway for a long time. The first plans that I came up with were for the Haven area. So here's some pictures of some Google Earth pictures of Saltfleet Haven so you can get a feel for the area. Maybe it'll help me come up with some ideas for the Haven as well. So now I'll do some quick sketching, some visualizing. These are just quick sketches of how I'd like things to appear, how I'd like them to go together. I'm making no considerations for layout size or anything. I'm just seeing how things work in my mind's eye. And if they go together well, then I'll work on making a mock-up. And then when we've got the mock-up, we'll see if they fit the size that I want. This first one is the simplest of the visualizations. This is very sort of Wingham Canterbury Road. It's just a line into the platform and one single sidings. The sketched station building is Wingham Canterbury Road, and the circular goods shed from Wingham Canterbury Road also makes an appearance there for the goods facility. So this is very simple, and I wouldn't be surprised if this fit in 4 square feet very easily indeed. This is my Covenham track plan. The Covenham sidings in 4mm scale were very, very long, so I've just really shortened them down here. And so I wonder if this might also fit in 4 square feet or very close to 4 square feet. It'll be interesting to mock this one up and see if it actually really works. This might be Saltfleet Haven. You never know. I just wanted to try the idea, see how it would work. You know, put that Nissen hut in there. Maybe I could put the circular goods shed from Wingham Canterbury Road in there. It would hide things on the right hand side. So this might be an interesting idea. I have made a note there. How long is the crossover? Because the length of that crossover there is going to be crucial if I'm going to fit it in under 4 square feet. So we'll mock this one up as well.
Okay, we have now moved upstairs and we're going to do some mocking up of the sketches that I've done. So in the finest traditions of playing model railways on the carpet, I have all I need for some mocking up. Here we've got, I've laid out a piece of craft paper, brown brown paper, I've got track, I've got trains, and I've got some marker pens, and I'm just going to lay out the sketches that I've got and see how they fit into what area. So this is a fun part, so I'll start to and get going. So this is sketch number 1, transformed into a mock-up, and as you can see, it's a simple tuning fork arrangement, the Wingham Canterbury Road inspiration, and the 4 linear feet on this runs from the rear buffer beam of the Terrier to the marker on the right hand side by the cross on the Pico set track box. So that is 4 linear feet. So a locomotive can appear in scene, traverse the turnout and pull into the passenger station and still travel a long way. We've got the siding in the background, which will take probably three wagons, so that's a lot to switch in and out, and this one certainly has a lot of potential. What is really interesting about this though is for the O gauge modeler on a budget, this track plan uses a set track turnout and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces of Pico set track. So for the space-starved, budget-conscious modeler, this would be a great start. Let's mock up something else now. Now, here's the second visualization. Now for this one, the second and the third visualizations were essentially the same track plans, so it would just be the scenic treatment that would change for this one. Once again, you can see I have 4 linear feet marked out. 4 linear feet runs from the box van to, on the left, to the marker on the right. So you can just about squeeze three wagons into the half of the passing loop, station passing loop on scene. So I would have liked a bit more, but so I don't know about this quite yet. The still uses basically the same amount of track as the first version, except I do have added a another Pico point, but that isn't a set track point, that's a streamline point, so it's somewhat longer and of a different geometry to the set track point, but it does create an interesting angle as the loop goes off scene there. It's not parallel to the baseboard edge, it's kind of skewed at a slight angle, so that's quite nice. We've got a nice long siding here, and that could be, if this was the Haven visualization, that would be a siding to the fish dock probably, and the station sits nicely in the back there. So this one actually turned out somewhat better than I thought it would. With the sketches, I had been moving towards the tuning fork plan, but this one almost seems to work quite well. If I was tempted, I would maybe want to swap out the streamline
point there in the station throat for another set track point, but that would change the geometry and make it a bit more conventional. It would give me an extra couple of inches, which would be very useful. So, but in the United States, a Pico set track point in O scale is going on for $100. So that's for the Spacestar budget conscious modeler, which seems to be a tack I'm going at right now. That would be maybe a little bit off-putting, but yeah, so there's plenty to think about here with these visualizations. The mock-ups certainly do work and do give me food for thought. So I'm still not totally convinced I know what I'm doing yet. So do need a little bit of more thought and a little bit more fine-tuning, and we will have to see where we go from there. Yeah, still sat here looking at these mock-ups and wondering what to do. So a thought now would be to get another second radius set track curve and put it on the good siding, and because look how long a potential siding I could get in if there was a curve in there on the goods yard road. So that's an interesting thought to play with. The 4 linear feet goes from the aluminium ruler at the left hand end there to the marker on the right hand end, and so there's some long lengths of track for trains to run through to make it feel like they're going a long way. There's also the fact that there's a lot of brown on this on the baseboard here on this brown paper, so a lot of that can be cut away and we can cut down the area to get closer to 4 square feet. So yeah, still thinking, still don't know quite what to do, which avenue to take. So this is the joys of track planning a micro layout. So as I was thinking about buying an extra set track curve section, I remembered rule 1, which was to build with what I have. So buying a piece of track is out. So and then I wondered perhaps I could maybe cut the set track curve that I have in half and use half of it on the platform road and half of it to add a slight curve into the goods yard road. And that seems like a pretty good idea. It changes the angles of the track slightly. It might allow me to make the baseboard a little bit narrower. So that's an idea I like. I'm really interested in following up this Spacestar budget modeler concept. This idea is looking the strongest of the two right now. So I've made my mind up. I am going with the tuning fork. The first visualization, the Wingham Canterbury Road inspired plan. So things that drove me to make that decision were the fact that I seem to have taken on that Spacestar budget conscious modeler angle, and I think that's important to do in these times where O scale, the O gauge, is being dominated by layouts like Heaton Lodge Junction, which is enormous and bigger than my house. So it's important to get back and show people that you can have a small O scale layout and it can be
interesting, and it doesn't have to cost you a fortune. So we're going with this plan. It means I can get started. Well, I mean, I could make the station building if I wanted to, and the goods shed, and then when it comes to getting everything done later on in the year, everything should just like fall together, really, because still a bit chilly here in Minnesota, so I'm not in a hurry to get in the garage to build the baseboards, but there's still some things to fine tune. While I was out on a drive this morning, I saw something that gave me a really good idea for train storage, and I'll talk about that in the next video when I talk about fine-tuning the scenic concept. So we'll talk to you about that one in a couple more weeks. Catch you later. So, don't forget, if you've enjoyed this video, give it a like, and if you like micro and small layout biased content, give the YouTube channel a like. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, because that's what you'll get here. Lots of micro layout biased content. So just subscribe to the channel, sign up for notifications, and you'll get stuff regularly. And also, don't forget, if micro layouts are your interest, then sign up to subscribe to the Micro Model Railway Dispatch. And that's a quarterly free downloadable e-zine you can get from www.micromodelrailwaydispatch.com. So you go there and sign up, and drop me a line and I'll put you on the mailing list. So hope to see you reading the magazine, hope to see you checking out more videos, and we'll talk to you later.